It seems that we saw Daniel Ricciardo's last race in Formula One this weekend in Singapore, as several reports indicate that he will be replaced by Liam Lawson at the United States GP and will probably not have a seat next season in any team on the grid. Tell me what your opinion is. Do you think Ricciardo really deserves to leave Formula One like this? Or do you still believe that he should have more time to prove himself? Well, no official announcement has been made so far, with reports that we will have news on this subject in the coming days. However, after the race, several situations made it clear that the decision must have already been made, and the team has already been informed of the decision to remove Ricciardo from this car, perhaps due to a contractual clause they have with Liam Lawson, which requires them to put him in a Formula One car by the United States GP, or else they could lose the driver. Firstly, after the race, the driver was greeted by his team with a standing ovation as he returned to the Racing Bulls facilities, with the driver visibly moved by the tribute greeting and hugging several of them. But especially in the interviews, the driver was very emotional, with tears in his eyes, almost crying and openly speaking that this could have really been the end of him in Formula One. Speaking in interviews, he said, "I feel a lot of emotions because I know it could have been the end. Obviously, this year the purpose was to try and be good enough to get back to Red Bull and obviously fight for wins again. I feel like I obviously fell short on that, so I think it's okay." Continuing his statement, the driver stated that he feels like he's just taking up someone's space these days, since his goal wasn't to be in Formula One to just fight for 1 point every now and then. Especially upon his return, he says that he was focused on getting a spot back in the main Red Bull team so that he could fight for wins and titles again, which didn't happen, and he's fine with that. Regarding how everything happened this season, with information that he would be promoted to Red Bull after he was fired, Ricciardo stated that this is how everything works not only for him but also for Sergio Perez, since everything depends on his last race, with him still hoping to have a good race in Singapore to perhaps change the team's decision, which unfortunately for him didn't happen. Although he's not optimistic about his future, he told Sky Sports that the fairy tale may not have come to an end yet. However, he admitted that there is a big chance that he will no longer be in that Racing Bulls car at the United States GP, the next race of the season. In another interesting statement, the driver explained his feelings and how he is facing this possible farewell to Formula One, where he said, "So, if this is it, let's say I have a little bit more peace and I'm proud of the career. Obviously, I tried to become world champion. I tried to become the best at something in the world. I think it is a tall task that we ask from ourselves, and obviously some achieve it, some don't. In the end, if I came up a little short, I also can't be too hard on myself. I'm happy with the effort I put in. And I think for that, there's no sadness or feeling of regret, or what could have been. I think I put my best foot forward." Well, as a farewell on the track, Ricciardo managed to set the fastest lap of the race on his last attempt, helping his former teammate Max Verstappen by taking that point from Lando Norris' fastest lap. Now we can only wait for the next chapters of this story, since in Formula One, a farewell is not always definitive, as we have seen many times. But tell me, do you think there is still a chance for the driver? And are you excited about the arrival of Liam Lawson?